Hey guys, welcome back. You are listening and watching up your favorite show, which is hashtag the Blue Mic, where we celebrate independent artists who have got a lot to cater with us with the great music and the great lyrics they have been bringing out. Like Aj, who is there with me? Someone who's actually got a mix of two cultures, and I really need to know more about her and her music and bring it out to her. Let's introduce you to everybody. So, hi dear, let us know your name and the way you are.
Hi, I'm Aanchal. My artist name is Aanchal Bordoloi, and I'm really excited to be here. I am from Assam and I'm based in Bangalore at the moment, and I'm a singer-songwriter. And thank you for doing this, and thank you for having me here.
How sweet of you, Anjal. Anjal, but you know something? It's really beautiful that you are actually from Assam and you're based right now in Bangalore. And I suppose both of these places have some great music altogether. You have some folk music, you've got some rock music. So how does these two places help you basically grow with the music?
Well, I mean, again, it's like the best of both worlds. And I'm a psychology student right now, so we also study of how the environment plays such a big role in like shaping our personality. So I would
Mm-hmm.
like to give that credit because, for example, in the northeastern side of the country, I mean, big music venues have always been there and they're slowly coming up again. And in Bangalore also, you have more of the South Indian sort of culture happening there, and I don't know, I just feel really lucky that more than the place, it's the fact that I've been surrounded by music loving people. So, for example, my uncle and aunts in Assam, they used to like come together during New Year's, for example, and just like sing old songs like classic rock music. So, that was a major influence for me when I was growing up. And I was in boarding school in Ooty, which is again South India, for a really long time. And again, so my experience in school there also had to do a lot with like my exposure to music in general. So it's been really interesting, honestly.
Quite interesting in financial because I love the matter of fact when you're in a boarding school because it really gives you a place where you can explore yourself. And no one is there really to judge it because you have a beautiful bond with your friends out together. But did you actually ever think during those days itself that you're going to become a writer and a singer? Or was it something that you discovered that later on in life?
Well, I've always wanted to be a songwriter and I've always wanted to write, but I never really did think that it becomes such an important aspect of my life that I do it so regularly and I build networks through it. So I never really, I mean, I knew that it would still be a part of my life, but I did not think about how big an impact it would still have. So I'm really grateful for everything that's going on now. Yeah.
Quite interesting. But it says that you were the person who's actually been preferred to have the country music and the folk rock also altogether. And these are very unusual genres for the younger generation to pick up to, as like how we see all these generations. And what was your basic
Yeah.
idea in choosing them? Like, did you do this on purpose that you were going to be getting yourself into that kind of a genre, which is very unusual, so that it gives you a good mileage? Or was it something that because it was in you, you were hearing it all this time, so somewhere like you have really imbibed of the music so well that you knew that this is what I will bring out the best out?
I think it has to do most with connect. So I could connect the most with country, folk, classic rock. Mostly, I think because of the songwriting aspect of it. That's why I primarily consider myself a songwriter because my link with music, more than like the music part of it, is the songwriting. It's like
Mm-hmm.
what the songwriter has to say. I mean, I was obsessed with pop music initially. I mean, I was obsessed with Hannah Montana and Miley Cyrus and all of that when I was 10 years old, which is pretty mainstream. But then I also realized when I listened to folk and country music that I could relate to a lot of things that I could not see and find in pop music. So that sort of became like my niche to sort of focus on.
Quite interesting. So with this, Anshul, can we actually have one of your songs which is going to be connecting again us with you more deeply?
Sure, sure. I can sing a bit of Whiskey Blues.
Sure.
I spend the night staring at your door, hoping there's something more that you would like to say. There was more disclosure than talking anyways. I needed closure, though it was best I didn't stay. I pulled out the guitar, and it still smells of you. Smoke and all the blues. Could you put it another way? It wasn't the whiskey, believe me. Do you remember the other day? Silence by the moon, a reverie. How could you have walked away? There were so many things I was dying to say. I once used to care, and now it brings me to tears. Sit beside me with the movies we could have watched through the night. A cup of tea and memories and things we walked away from because it didn't seem right. You shied away from love, this too will fade with time. It's alright, I couldn't make you mine.
Amazing, amazing. I just thought it was such a fabulous song. Basically, you actually brought us for all our listeners. And I really would say that, somehow this country music really appeals me also more because it's got a beautiful way of telling up beautiful stories altogether. That's quite interesting. So, actually, now when you said that you're a psychology student, does it somehow realize and makes you, be a good songwriter because now you can understand people's psyche more also?
Yeah, that definitely makes sense. I mean, more than that, it's easier to like analyze people and put those analysis into your music. So like you, at the end of the day, you still have more stuff to write about.
That's quite true. But like as we say, when you talk about the country music, you
Yeah.
really need to understand that it's not quite simple to be very simple in life. It's a very complicated thing when people say that. It's बहुत simple hai. It's basically not that easy. What does you actually, what do you basically do to make things so simplified that when you write up those songs, you just instantly connect up with the audiences? How do you make that happen?
So I think the primary emotion would be love. So I would like to like quote, like cite this one example that happened with me recently. So I released Whiskey Blues, the song I wrote, like I sang to you right now. I released it in Feb last year. And I remember that this one guy I met at this open mic, he texted me later saying that when he went on his date, he both of them just spoke about Whiskey Blues and how they liked it so much. So
How
like there they had a common ground. So even though the song is about unrequited love, they were madly in love. So obviously the primary emotion here is love. So I think the best way to simplify it is find like a common ground where all like the musicians end up feeling the same way. I mean, not musicians, like people in general feel the same way. So I think human connect is the two words that I can actually get here, because if you can't connect, then what's the point of even hoping that you could reach out to people? So like love and connection and belongingness, basically like core human values is what I would like to say.
But Anchal had said that, ki whatever expressions a person really writes is something what
Yeah.
he's really lived up those moments with. So
Hmm.
that's how
Yeah.
you can really pen down those things. So have you been also one of those persons who wanted all what is written into your songs?
Yeah, exactly. Yes, I did. And also, so like you said, sometimes you don't necessarily have to experience something in order for you to write it. So for example, I sing a lot of love songs, but like I haven't been in a relationship until now. So it's all about that unrequited love phase, the falling in love phase. And I feel that even if you have like a little bit of an experience in what the entirety of it feels like, I mean, it's easier for you to just like imagine the world and just put it down into a song. I mean, I think songwriting that way gives you so much of freedom to just take one emotion, take one idea, and transform it into music. So, I mean, so to answer your question, yes, experience is necessary, and I am one of those people who writes from experience. But I also like to imagine and put a million other things into the picture. But
Wow.
it starts from something that I've definitely experienced. So
True. There's a saying basically when I was talking with all the different independent music artists, one of them said a very fine thing that you really need to feed the music these days if in order to want to become a great singer. So, you cannot just say that you're going to just be doing a music video or doing the music and everything is going to be turning just in favor for you. But you need to have a simultaneously career also for you so that it gives you that kind of money that you put into your music videos or your music. So, how do you feel? Is it absolutely true that you really need to have two careers altogether so that you can take a music money from one place and put it up across into the other?
it depends on like the artist, I think. So I was having a conversation about the same thing, like we were discussing with another musician, and I told him that I'm very adamant to go into the mental health sector. So like I want to do something psychology related, and I will do music on the side. So that's what I told him. But because I told him I want to do that because in some way I want to give back to society. But he brought in a really interesting argument. He said, "Why don't you do music full time? And you can use that music as a push to like push the giving back to society part. So you can use both each other, both of each these things very simultaneously." And I will take that into consideration. And in fact, yesterday, I mean, very recently, I spoke with this very full time big artist, and we spoke about how he's so caught up in his IT job that he's not able to dedicate to music. So I think it depends from musician to musician. So
All right. That's quite an interesting twist, in fact, of yours that you would really love to have a music which comes down with your giving back to the society also. Quite interesting
yeah,
twist in all that altogether. But actually, with that, we would request if you could have one of another songs from yours for our audiences, please.
yeah, sure. This is so this Void. I released this very recently, and this song is almost 7 minutes long. So I think I can do like the first verse and until the chorus, if that's okay.
Sure.
Yeah. A smile after I'm out of that door and take it all the way to the front porch. Love holds no meaning, an emptiness that I feel. I let down tears in that taxi. Distance intertwined in a backseat. The city lights take me to a place in time where we're free, where we're free. Oh, it's such a mystery. And I walk in these streets. There ain't nobody I'm looking for. Pretty girls with their dresses on and boys smoking up on the sidewalk. It feels alright as I'm walking by, though you could fill this void.
Wow, that was another very great number from you coming down, Angela. And I suppose you have a very mature writing, expressing up with yourself and what you have to say. So, as a songwriter, as a singer, what really comes down first? Is it the lyrics or is it the tune?
So for my songwriting process usually involves a mix of both. So usually how I go about it is when I feel something, I usually pick a melody on the guitar and then I write the words to it. So it's the music first in this case. But there also have been incidents where the lyrics come to my mind out of the blue, and then I find like a melody to build around it. So I think it happens both ways. But mostly it's like the music that comes first, and then then the lyrics. But the idea is definitely preceding anything. So
Who have been the other independent artists who have really moved your thoughts and the songs which you've been really liking to?
there's a singer songwriter called Ditty. Her real name is Aditi Veena, and she goes by the artist name called Ditty. And I love how it's just her and her guitar, and how she just sings about the environment and like a lot of very niche subjects. So that is what I love about her. There's nothing fancy about it. There's nothing extra visual about it. It's just her and her guitar and like truth. So Ditty has really been one of my major inspirations. And in Bangalore itself, you have artists like Bruce Lee Money from this band called Thermal and a Quarter. You have this band called Cinema of Excess, and Malvika Manoj from Mumbai, Tejas Menon, and all these people. They're amazing. Like if I just look at them and think to myself that they've worked so hard to get where they are, that itself is enough inspiration for me to keep going. So.
But like as you really mentioned about this right now, Aanchal, that you were a member of the Vienna songwriting circle, So how was that experience altogether, man? Did that really help you and brush up the skills of how you really write your songs? And did that exposure somewhat have that kind of an impact that you still hold with you today?
Yes, definitely. So one of the main things we learned from the songwriter sessions was brainstorming. And I, as a person, detest the idea of brainstorming because I'm like, if it comes to you, it comes naturally. What's the point of forcing something? But ever since my experience in the songwriter circle, where we had to brainstorm and compose a song within 30 minutes, it's been much easier for me to write songs in general. So I think brainstorming and also like just the experience of being surrounded by such wonderful artists from all over the world. You had people from Scotland, you had people from England, and you had all these beautiful people from all walks of life coming together, encouraging each other to write music. So I think that sort of energy will always stay with me. So I'm like, I want to keep being motivated to keep writing, basically.
Okay. But when you talk about the music these days,
Yeah.
how do you take it as you have people who have been bringing out music every second now, like perhaps every minute we have a new release coming up by some or the other singer. So, does it make it difficult for you to absorb a lot of music around you? Or like you know who you really have to follow, and you are a person who's very focused about that. I'm going to be getting such a kind of a music because this is still not much about there around.
So I think I already know what I want to really follow and listen to. For example, it's and I honestly don't pay a lot of attention to the new music that keeps coming out unless I know the artist or they're Indian based or like India based or there's somebody I've been following in for a very long time. At the current moment, I am nerding out on a lot of 1970s, 80s, and I'm getting into the jazz genre. So I really know what particularly I should be listening to.
That is true. All right. So thank you so much, Aanchal, for actually sharing out a beautiful journey with us. It was great having with you. And I perhaps believe that you're one of those young songwriters who are going to be having a large horizon to explore of and what else has to be taught and given up to the people. And the beauty of the thing is that I love country music, and you are one of those persons who actually love the genres too. So we have a lot of catch up even after that. So thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you so much for having me. Thank you for doing this. I'm really grateful. Thank you.